Hey everybody, it's Benjamin here at the Scentual Fragrance Channel, coming back at you with more fragrances, more colognes, more perfumes, and scents. So let's jump into it today. If you're a fragrance enthusiast and a fragrance aficionado, I think that you've come to a great place. Let's talk about none other than Vodka on the Rocks by none other than Sensual Obsessions. Yes, this is a clone. I do have to say that, and I also have to say, in full disclosure, 100% transparency, this was sent to me for review. So let's talk about this glorious juice. I do have a very high opinion of this one. If you don't know what the original smells like, the original Vodka on the Rocks, it smells like vodka, it smells like booze, it smells fresh and clean and yet boozy at the same time. And yet in the dry down, there's this mineral accord. It doesn't smell dirty. It smells a little bit more like stones. It's very interesting, a little bit avant-garde or unusual, but it is a niche fragrance. But it's still somehow wearable and somehow likable. If you like Gray Vetiver by Tom Ford, if you like, very interesting, more, I guess, gray style vetivers that are laid back and have their own, interesting texture about them, I do think that Vodka on the Rocks is very interesting. Now, this fragrance captures that beauty, but it also does something very different. It has the vodka, it has the booziness off the top, it has that mineral-like quality dry down, but it improves upon the DNA. I always felt like the original Killian Vodka on the Rocks was missing a heart to the fragrance. It really was missing some kind of composition, something in the heart to give it a little bit more fullness and a little bit more body, and give the fragrance some more character. This fragrance, they decided to put a little bit of this blue DNA. I'm not exactly sure what this blue kind of smell is. To me, it kind of smells like a slightly sharp, slightly sour version of maybe Blue de Chanel, kind of mixed into the heart. So what you're getting in this fragrance, to my nose, is vodka, a very wearable, interesting, almost sour blue fragrance, uh, and then that beautiful mineral quality in the dry down. This makes it a very wearable fragrance, but yet interesting. It's a very wearable everyday fragrance, blue in style. People like the smell, people understand it. But yet it's different. It has some different. It has a different mix about it. It's its own creation. I kind of consider this a fusion fragrance of sorts, and it's really really nice. I'm very happy with this creation. I think it improves upon the DNA of the original and brought us something that's mass appealing and easy to wear, and has some character to it. So I think it's a winner all in all respects. Also, I have a really hard time personally with blue fragrances, and this one is one of the blue fragrances that I'll tolerate. A lot of blue fragrances I absolutely dislike. If you know my taste, I absolutely detest things like YSL. I detest that fragrance. I don't like Sauvage either. So this is a blue fragrance that I kind of like. Dylan Blue was about the only other blue fragrance that I can kind of tolerate. This one is a pretty nice juice, a pretty nice smell. Um, so longevity wise, let's jump into the performance kind of category of things. This fragrance is going to give you 7, maybe 8 hours or so. I think it's going to be more of a 7-hour fragrance on most people, but it's a very distinctive smell. It with the projection, it's kind of average, but the sillage is pretty nice. The sillage is noticeable, but it is a distinctive kind of smell, so people pick up on it a little bit more than you would think. So it's kind of a interesting performer that way, and I like when a fragrance is a little bit more distinct, and it helps with the performance in a way because people pick up on it a little bit easier. It doesn't smell like the run-of-the-mill fragrance, or it catches people's attention a little bit more. So compliment factor wise, this is a great compliment factor. Fragrance, it smells very nice. It gets compliments. It is a little bit more laid back, a little bit more reserved in smell. It's not a bright, happy, cheerful aquatic fragrance or blue fragrance. This one is a little bit more laid back. It's a little bit more gentlemanly. I'd be willing to say this is a little bit more of a grown-up blue fragrance. If you ever wanted that, if you ever thought that was possible, I think that this is more of a grown-up blue fragrance. If you're in the 25 older range, you might just love this stuff. If you're younger, you might just be happy with your flankers of Aqua di Gio, your Invictus, and your Jean Paul Gaultier Ultramall. And nothing's wrong with fragrances like that, but this one speaks to my soul. It's a little bit more grown up, and I like that about this fragrance. So my final thoughts with this fragrance and the price. You can get 100 mils for about $55. It's a great value for money. I think that this is a great fragrance. If you do like Vodka on the Rocks, but you didn't think it performed enough, if you thought it was missing something, If you think that Vodka on the Rocks is too hard to find, maybe you've always been interested in Vodka on the Rocks by Killian and you didn't know where to go. Scentual Obsessions, I think, is going to get you covered if you want something easy to wear, for everyday situations, and it's going to be a little bit different. And my final thoughts, also, I do want to say that this fragrance distantly reminds me of Oud Mineral by Tom Ford. It doesn't smell the same. It's not the same fragrance, but it's like a distant cousin. There is something about this fragrance that reminds me of Oud Mineral, and I really like that fragrance, but I've never really wanted to fork out the money for it. I'm very happy with this creation. I think it fits my my need, my addiction, and my desire for Oud Mineral. I think that this is going to fill that need and fill that gap, and it also does some things a little bit different. So I think this fragrance is great. If you like Oud Mineral by Tom Ford and you want something wearable for everyday situations, this is also recommended. So great fragrance through and through. I hope I didn't seem too optimistic. Let me know your thoughts. Check out the brand. I do have to be 100% transparent with y'all. Again, this was sent to me, but I do dislike some from the brand, and I do just love some of them. This one is one of my favorites. Andy Warhol and Lime in the Sky, and this one are my top 3 from Scentual Obsessions. So definitely thank y'all so much for watching today. I got to wrap up this video, and I got to go. But before I go, before you jump out of this video, please give me a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Let me know in the comments section, do you like Vodka on the Rocks? Have you heard about it? Do you like Killian? Do you like interesting mineral-like fragrances? If you do, I think you'd be interested. So, definitely hit that notification bell too. When you hit the notification bell, hit all notifications so you don't miss out on my content. If you subscribe, you won't be notified of my videos. If you just hit the notification bell, you'll get notified sometimes, not all the time. So, YouTube is funny. They require you to jump through a lot of hoops. So help me out, and I'm helping you out. I'm putting out these videos. So thank y'all so much for being here. I got to go. I got to run. But thank you all for your love and your support. I'll see y'all next time. Vodka on the Rocks is some pretty neat juice for the price. $55 for 100 mils. Pretty nice stuff. I'll see you next time, my friends, and bye.